What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. This is going to be a new video. Eddie Loves Movies, where I just review the movies that I've loved since childhood and some new movies that may catch my eye. So, yeah, this is going to be all about movies because I love movies growing up since I was a kid, and this was the biggest thing for me. So, like video games and shit like that were a part of my life, but movies was the biggest part of my life. Movies and TV shows. So yeah, welcome to Eddie Loves Movies, where I review movies and just talk about movies, and probably there'll be rants about movies too in other videos, but that'll be another time. So today we're gonna talk about Speed, my one of the greatest fucking action movies ever made. I mean, since I was a kid, since I was a little boy, man, in the early 90s. When this movie came out, I was about 5 years old, maybe. Yeah, I was 5 years old. And I remember growing up with the VHS tape, too. I had the VHS tape all my life, and my father had it. And this movie just had my heart since childhood, man. Like, Terminator 2 is my #1 favorite movie of all time. And this movie right here has to be right behind it. I'm probably like number 2. Because I could not live without this movie. Okay, so anyways, all right, let's get into the story real quick. Let's read the story from a page here. A Los Angeles police officer, Jack Travis, played by Keanu Reeves, angers retired bomb squad mobber. Yeah, he was a mob. The bomb squad mob. Yeah. Retired bomb squad member Howard Payne, played by Dennis Hopper, by foiling his attempt at taking hostages. In revenge, Payne arms a bus with a bomb that will explode if it drops below 50 miles per hour. With the help of spunky passenger Annie, played by Sandra Bullock, Jack and his partner Harry, played by Jeff Daniels, try to save the people on the bus before the bomb goes off, while also trying to figure out how Payne is monitoring them. So, yeah, you know, Howard Payne is the madman, right? He plants a bomb on an elevator at first. This is how we're introduced to him and to our cast, to our characters. So he plants a bomb on an elevator. He attempts to take hostages there, and you know, in claim of I think it was $2 million. And Jack Travis and Harry stops him. So nearly killing themselves, getting themselves killed. But luckily they survived by Jack shooting the hostage. Shoot the hostage. One of those most favorite lines too that everybody says, "Pop quiz, hot shot," from Howard Payne. I just gotta say too, the performances of every actor in this movie was just superb. I mean, everything about this movie was freaking amazing. Like, the whole cast was just the best. Like, I couldn't see anybody else taking a role in this movie, and they can never remake this. Like, don't ever even touch this movie. So we have the cast, right? Keanu Reeves, of course, Jack Travis, Sandra Bullock, Annie, Dennis Hopper, Howard Payne, Jeff Daniels, Harry. We got, this guy's like right in between the first the major roles here. It's weird. Glenn Plummer was the Jaguar owner. Ooh shit. Hey, watch the road. We have Alan Ruck, who played Stevens, the tourist on the bus, the tourist that was in LA and who just wouldn't shut up. You know what? I got gum on my seat. Gum. She had to move her seat because he wouldn't stop talking so much. We have Joe Morton. Oh man, Joe Morton his performance in this movie was my favorite. Like, Terminator 2, he was superb too. Like, he was amazing in Terminator 2. Fantastic acting. But for some reason, him as Captain McMahon, I was just like, yes, Captain. You know, that's Captain right there. You know, you just believe that he was the captain, man. He was amazing, like, taking a lead role like that. Like, shit, man. Taking a commanding role, and he was just excellent, man. Fine, the two of you check it out. You know, like he was amazing. You're fired. Everybody's fucking fired. Get me closer. Oh man, he was fucking great. I love it. I need the goddamn money now. Shit, man, he was excellent. Here we go. Oh yeah, Hawthorne James, who played Sam. Don't spit on my bus, Annie. This ain't no bus stop. I love Sam. Man, that was a great character right there. He's a good spirited man right there. I loved it. You know what? Nobody's ever done a song about him. Like Annie says, people are gonna write songs about you. I never heard one yet. They should make one. So, but yeah, Sandra Bullock's performance was excellent. I mean, she was amazing in this movie, like fantastic. Because her role is kind of like partially the lead role also, like because she got to take control of the bus, and that is one of the most difficult fucking things to do, is to drive a really big Pinto. Okay, like she says, it's driving. Yeah, it's just like driving a really big Pinto. Driving a bus is not easy, and she actually learned how to drive a bus for the movie. Like she literally learned how to drive the bus just for the movie, and she did an excellent job. I mean, she was amazing. She took control of that big thing, that really big Pinto, really well. She handled it really well. She's a very intelligent woman, Sandra Bullock. Very smart, very funny too. I love Sandra Bullock. She's hilarious. When she was in Miss Congeniality also, and Demolition Man. She's great. I love her. Dennis Hopper, of course, he was fucking excellent, and like the way he plays a maniac is just fucking awesome. Wave of the future. What else is that line? He said, the whim of a madman. I like that. Pop quiz, hot shot. There's a bomb on the bus. His acting was fucking fantastic. No one gets off that bus. But him playing the madman was just fucking awesome, because like you really believe that he was such a maniacal psycho, like somebody that you just fucking just want to beat the crap out of, like he was such a sinister motherfucker, like it was great, Wave the future. I'm gonna catch you, Jack. That was one of the funniest scenes. I love that scene. My money. Jeff Daniels. I love Jeff Daniels in this movie. Jeff Daniels was fucking. He was awesome. The great supporting cast in this movie too. And Jeff Daniels was freaking awesome. He was one of my favorites because of Dumb and Dumber also. Dumb and Dumber, he's fantastic. But in this movie, he had such great what's like, he was just so into character, like he really believed his character, like he was excellent, and he was the first one who started the pop quiz, actually. The pop quiz hot shot. Alright, pop quiz. What do you say, gunman has a hostage or something like that, right? When he was quizzing Jack on like what to do. What would you do? Shoot the hostage. What? Shoot the hostage. Go in for the clean wound. Take her out of the equation. You're freaking nuts, you know that? Shoot the hostage. But oh man, it was the saddest, like one of the saddest fucking scenes when Jeff Daniels got fucking killed. Like, spoiler alert, yeah, he gets if you haven't seen this movie, he does get killed. By Dennis Hopper's character, Howard Payne. He left a bomb or something like that. He set up a bomb in the house because he just knew they would find him. He just knew they would find him, and then Harry, of course, was the one to go get him, and the house blew up. So that was one of the, and the look in Jeff Daniels' face was superb. Like it like it was like he knew, fuck, I'm screwed. You know, like I'm done. Like, and you saw it in the face. Like that was just, and you felt it inside your heart. You're like, no, no, not Harry, no. Like the emotion that Jack had after the call with Howard Payne, after he hangs up and he slams the phone, bang, 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 God damn it, son of a bitch. You felt that. You felt that. Like, I felt the same way. I was like, son of a bitch. You know? I'm telling you, this movie was just the best, man. Like, oh, man, I love it. The acting was just great. And the storytelling, the way the story was told, like, because back then the way they did movies was with passion, you know, because it's an art. You're telling a story, you're entertaining the people, and you're telling a story, visually telling a story. That's what a movie is, you know. You're telling a visual story, right? So back then, these directors, these filmmakers, you know, and their whole crew, their camera crew, the set crew, the art crew, you know, the people who build miniatures and stuff like that, they had the passion and the soul for it, you know. Like it's an art. You're creating something to like, you know, visually to make it look real and believable, and it's just fantastic, you know. In the 90s was I gotta say, the 90s was the last era of making the best films ever made. The early 2000s, there was great movies made, but they weren't just as good at all. Like they could never compare to the 70s, 80s, and 90s, which is like the golden era of movies. Where it's even the 60s, because we have that Space Odyssey, 2001 Space Odyssey, with the miniatures and shit like that. That was brilliant. Okay, like it felt like you were really looking at the real things. Like that was amazing. Because back then they had the passion to do this. Back then they had the passion and the heart for making film. You know, telling a story, and that's why so many movies were done off of books, because you're telling a story, but this time you're doing it visually, and you're telling your version. Like a director will be telling his version of the story, like his vision of the story, you know, and you could relate to it or not, you know. But if it's the most relatable, then that means that person's vision was just as good as everybody else's, you know. So yeah, we had, you know, great story, great cast. So let's get into my favorite scenes. You know, my favorite scenes was definitely when he was trying to get onto the bus. That's one of my favorite scenes. Oh, the scene when the bus explodes. The first bus explodes. So with what's his name? Let me go. Let's see the cast here. We got John Capodice, who played Bob, who's also in Ace Ventura, by the way. I don't know if anybody recognized him from Ace Ventura. Yeah, you look fat. I wish his character didn't die, man. He was cool, but of course you had to have the reason of why Jack got the call and shit like that, you know, to get called to the bus 2525. So. Like, actually, there's just so many fucking scenes. I mean, the whole movie was just pretty much my favorite scenes. Okay? This whole fucking movie, this whole goddamn movie was just so good that I can't even think of a scene that wasn't my favorite, okay? I mean, that's when you know this shit was so good. Like, it's so hard to figure out which scene did I really not like. None! None! This whole movie was freaking awesome from start to finish. You know, the movie credits was, of course, like the beginning credits was what I loved. First of all, the theme music. I love the soundtrack to this movie. It has like one of the best fucking soundtracks ever made. Like, you were like, oh yeah, you feel the rush, you know. And then it gets emotional, you know, like it has that then it has an emotional tone, like you feel the heart, you know, like it's such a heartfelt scene, like, you know, Man, I love the soundtrack. I just love this. One of the greatest soundtracks ever made. Um, and from the elevator scene to the bus, first bus explosion, to even the bar scene when they were in the bar, it's toasting and everything like that. It's a victory and shit. Like that was one of my favorite scenes. It was funny. I need a bib. He spills the beer on himself because he's so drunk. Do you listen? I mean, dear. Oh man, like from there to when Jack was trying to get to bus 2525. Oh, by the way, which was, let me hold on. Let me do these slideshow real quick for you guys. I'm going on and without the slideshow. Sorry. um. So yeah. The bus, I gotta say, is literally my favorite fucking bus in the whole world. I'm into buses. I love buses since I was a kid. I always loved model buses, getting toy buses and stuff like that. This was the most gorgeous bus I've ever seen. And ever since this movie, since I was a kid, I've been dying, and I mean dying, to get a model, like an actual scale model, like maybe a 124 scale or something, a 132 scale model of this bus that is an exact replica. Like, I mean, full on detail, everything about the fucking bus. Like, this bus was the most gorgeous bus I've ever seen. I love that design. The fishbowl buses from the 70s and the 60s, the most gorgeous buses ever made. Like, the design was just gorgeous. And the coloring. I love the coloring of the Santa Monica buses. Like, that's gorgeous. New York had beautiful buses too, but fucking shit, I love that Santa Monica bus. That shit was gorgeous. So yeah, to him, to my favorite scenes again, and him catching up to the bus and stuff like that. Getting onto the bus was fucking brutal because Sam didn't stop the bus, and he's like trying to stop the bus. I'm a cop, LAPD. He's trying to get him to stop, and he's like, nah, this ain't no bus stop. Open your door. And he hijacks the Jaguar with Glenn Plummer, the Jaguar owner, which they never mention who this guy is in the movie, but that's okay, because, he is definitely recognizable, because he's fucking awesome. He was hilarious, Watch the road! Whoa, 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 whoa! Whoa, shit! Whoa, shit! Whoa, shit! Yeah, you get on the bus! There's a bomb on the what? From that scene, and then them into the city when Captain McMahon is trying to get them, find them a road and stuff like that. Like, all the action is just fucking awesome. And then the hard turns and shit when the bus tilts over, and she's like, "Oh my god, we're gonna tip over, and he's, everyone on this side of the bus, and then they fucking, oh man. And then to the bus jump scene, or when they jump the bus on the highway. This freeway isn't finished. I guess they fell behind. Well, it's on the map. It's fucking finished on the goddamn map. And then when they jumped that bus, though, that was one of the most brutal things they had to do, because it was very, very dangerous, because the stunt driver, because of how big and heavy the bus is, jumping, it actually jumped. How long did it actually jump? I think it was about 50 feet when it jumped. It actually reached about just around 50 feet, I think it was, or 65 or something like that. It was something like that. I can't remember. But he actually had to push that bus at top speed, like going top speed at least, and actually jump the shit on a ramp. It was jumped on a ramp. Of course, it wasn't actually a big gap. They just digitally removed that on the roadway, the runway there. What do you call that? I forget what you call that on the highway. When on the exit, it changes. What the hell? And it converts into another highway. I forget what you call that shit. But anyways, a junction maybe, something like that. But yeah, he actually jumped it on the ramp. Oh, who was the guy? Let me look this up. Who was the guy that did it? I can't remember. Speed movie bus jumper. Let me look that up. Bus jumper. I'm gonna put bus jumper. I'm looking this up on my phone right now. Who was the guy who did it? Who jumped it? This might take long if I can't fucking find it. Continue. It doesn't say here. Damn, I can't find it. It was in a movie review that I've seen before, like the not a movie review. It was wait, yeah, I can't find it for some reason. But anyways, he was a famous guy for something else. I forgot what it was. I think it was he was in another movie or something like that. And he was the stuntman who I forgot his name. It's damn. I gotta find his name. But anyways, when he jumped the bus, it was very dangerous. They had to sit him like in the middle of the bus when it went like he was see the middle like towards towards the doors over there. Like he was in the middle, and he had to wear like a lot of protective gear and stuff like that. And when the bus landed on the ground from the jump, all the tires popped. Like the shit was so heavy, the entire the whole all the wheels just blew. And I think the front bumper like nearly came off. I think because it landed so fucking hard, just bam. You know, like that shit came down so hard because it's a heavy ass bus. I think it weighed like how much does it weigh? Like 75,000 pounds. I might be mistaken. I might have went way overboard. But anyways, and then from then on, we got back to the scenes. From then on, we get to after the bus jump, we get to the my voice. Oh my god. We get to the LAX to the airport. We're in the airport. Yeah. So I already seen the airport. Oh, that's before I mention that. What happened to Ortiz? What Gigantor? I love Gigantor. Gigantor Ortiz. Where is his name here in the cast? I don't see him here. For some reason, he's not mentioned here in the cast. He was also in Blood In, Blood Out, if I remember. Yeah, he was in Blood In, Blood Out. I love this character too. He was fucking cool. He was awesome. But you got some big round hairy cojones. That's really gross, Ortiz. Can't even pay him a compliment. Oh man. So yeah, we get to the airport where they have to circle the runway now. And his idea was to circle the runway to buy them some time, and also and then that's when he finds the camera. Because Howard Payne kept calling Annie Wildcat when he would talk to him on the phone. So, the whole time he didn't realize that there was a camera all the way above, like the rear view mirror on the top, like way in the top. And it was a small little hidden camera there, and he was watching Annie the whole time. And behind her, she has her sweater, and it's the Arizona State College, I think it was, and their college football team was the Arizona Wildcats. So, of course, Jack realizes it, and then that's when he decides we got to do something, and get the news crew. He got the news crew to capture the signal on the bus of the camcorder. And and he had to what do you call that? Rerun it. He wanted him to rerun it so that way they could get the hostages out. So finally, they figured out a way to get the hostages out. They bring this bus, this weird looking bus from the airport with like 100 fucking doors all around it. It's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen, but it was pretty cool. So we get the hostages off, and then finally Jack and Annie are the last to get off, and then the bus explodes because now it's in automatic drive pretty much. Like they had to let it run because they couldn't stop it. So they put like a wiring and stuff like that. They wired the steering wheel and put a gas pedal thing in between the the seat and the gas pedal to keep it going so they could escape, so Annie and Jack can escape. And then it crashes into a plane, into a moving plane that was being towed into another part of the airport. So the bus blows up, but Howard Payne doesn't know yet. So they get back to the city in L.A. downtown. So now they're trying to set up set up Howard Payne, but Howard, before he goes out to meet up with them to get the money, he figures out on his monitor that he stares at his monitor and realizes the video is being rerun, that they caught him, and he flips out. No! So now he dresses up into a police uniform. He has an LAPD uniform. He puts it on, and he goes, he kidnaps Annie. So now he kidnaps Annie, and now this is where the subway scene happens, which is one of my favorite scenes too. I love the subway scene. We get into the subway scene, and he, now Jack is trying to save Annie. Now his mission is basically to save Annie. So he cuffs her into the train and shit like that. It kills the driver of the train. Sadly, well, that was a sad scene right there. But then Jack runs onto the train as it's leaving the platform, jumps onto the train, and then gets in, manages to get in. He then climbs up to the top of the car of the train in on the roof, and then Howard hears him above. Hearing hitting the metal because Jack almost gets hit by one of these light things in the tunnel. So he rolls over and he hears it. Then he's like, "Is that you, Jack?" He starts talking to him, yelling at him, and then opens up his money, and then his money explodes with paint because they caught him, for marked. They're marked bills. So he flips out, shoots at Jack into the roof and shit like that, and then he goes to get him. "I'm gonna get you, Jack!" Da! Which is one of the funniest scenes. So then they have the whole fight scene on the roof of this train. Which is a beautiful train, by the way. I gotta say, that's a nice train. I love the LA trains. So Jack wins the fight, of course, beheads Howard Payne. Because one of those I don't know what they call those in those tunnels in LA. I don't know if those are real, or if that was just added for the movie, but he obviously loses his head from one of those, and that's when Jack's like, "Yeah, well, I'm taller." So he saves there again. He comes in to rescue Annie, but he doesn't have a key for the handcuffs, so he can't get her out. So now he has to jump the fucking train. He can't stop the train because it's also busted. Because when Howard shot the driver, he fucked up the whole mechanics. He fucked up everything. So he had to just put it in full gear and just let the shit go. And they had to jump the train. And that's one of the coolest fucking scenes ever too. When the train jumps out of the fucking into the road, like that shit was awesome. Which was an actual real train, but the whole scene of it actually in the tunnels and shit like that, when it bursts and when it cuts in half and shit, and it's climbing up to the top, that was all models. That was a model train that they built specifically for that scene, and it was like a giant scale model. I forgot the size scale model, but it was huge, and it was beautiful, like the way they did that. You see what I mean? Like that's my point. No CGI. We didn't need no CGI. They used miniatures, and that shit was gorgeous. That looks so real. Like, it was beautiful. Fantastic job, man. I'm telling you, this movie was fantastically done. I'm going on and on and on. I don't know how long this video is, but shit, this movie was one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. So that's pretty much the whole movie and my favorite scenes and everything like that. So in conclusion, I'm gonna rate this movie. Let's see. I'm gonna rate this movie a 10 out of 10. It says here on Rotten Tomatoes, I think it was. Where is it? Rotten Tomatoes said like 95% or something like that. And yeah, here we go. Rotten Tomatoes 95%. IMDb is 7.3 out of 10. I'm giving it 10 out of 10. Okay, this movie was just brilliantly done. Like, brilliant. Okay, this is a 10 out of 10. There's nothing I can say about this movie that was a disappointment. There was nothing about this movie that was disappointing at all. Nothing. I can't think of one fucking thing. If you could think of one fucking thing, I'm sorry to say, but fuck you. I don't want to get into my feelings, but factual facts, okay? In fact, this movie was just beautifully done. Perfectly done, in my opinion. I said facts, but now it's my opinion. I don't care. This movie was great. So, yeah, that's my whole review on this movie. So, what are your thoughts on this movie? I want to know. Like, do you love this movie too? Like, let's talk movies, man. I want to know. So, yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video. This is the greatest movie ever made, hands down. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time in the next videos on my movie reviews. So this will be Eddie Loves Movies. Tuning out. One love.